Right boys, so welcome back to another YouTube video. Now I feel like I owe you guys an explanation as to the sudden change of heart about competing and obviously the launch of this YouTube series, Road to the Stage. So obviously I'm going to explain a bit about the situation and essentially why this is happening, why I'm doing this. So firstly, I just wanted to say it's all because of you guys. Now the support has been absolutely unreal. I get so many DMs, so many comments on my TikTok of people telling me that they, want to see me compete. And essentially that's what I'm going to do for you guys, and I'm going to document it obviously on YouTube. And I just think it will be a great opportunity to kind of grow, mentally and physically too. I think recently I've kind of been floating around, kind of not having like a set goal in mind. The goal is obviously to just look good, obviously still progress in the gym, but I was just kind of floating around. I didn't have a direct goal, and I feel like if you don't have a purpose, it can be pretty detrimental, as you'll look back in a year's time and you'll be like, I haven't really made any progress. So I think having that purpose is absolutely crucial, and that will lead to growth. So essentially that is why I've taken this challenge on board, because I feel like I didn't have a purpose, and I was kind of going down a hole of not making much progress at all. Whereas now I've got this goal that next year I am going to compete. I'm obviously documenting this on YouTube to obviously stay accountable, and show you guys that I am serious about this and I will compete. But yeah, I also think it's going to be an incredible challenge. It will be difficult, very difficult, as I've never ever taken a cut to that low of a body fat percentage that you would need to compete, of course. And also truly pushing myself in the gym, having that goal that I am going to step on stage, I am going to compete with a bunch of other guys. It does motivate me to obviously work harder and push myself more in the gym. So I'm sure that as you obviously watch this YouTube series, as we go on further, you will see me getting more serious about training. And ultimately that's the journey that I want to show you guys, and I'm very excited to obviously have this opportunity. Obviously still living with my mum, not having to spend all my money on food because my mum still provides that. Obviously having the chance to provide this for you guys on YouTube, I just think it's definitely a challenge that I should do, that I should take part in, I should say. So yeah, that's basically the reason for the change of heart. I think it'll be a great challenge. I want to do it for you guys because the support has been unreal, and I think truly testing myself, pushing myself to those limits could potentially help me achieve great things, as nothing ever happens within your comfort zone. So yeah, that is basically why I am competing, and that is the story behind the Road to the Stage series. So yeah, I am so excited to obviously just be here and do this, So I just want to say a massive thank you to you guys for obviously even making this possible, for obviously giving me somewhat of a following. So yeah, just want to say a massive thank you, and there's much more to come, and I'm very, very excited about this journey that I'm about to get onto, and I hope you are too. So anyway, enough waffling, even though that wasn't waffle. Today's YouTube video, just gonna obviously give you guys a brief overview. So episode 1, we did a pull day, which I believe was the day before yesterday, as I had a rest day yesterday, and that was pull B, I believe, bicep focused. So we're on legs B, hamstring focused, I believe, because the first leg day, legs A, is quad focused. So today I'm going to be taking you through a raw leg day, and that will be posterior focused. So I'm not sure what we've got, but I'm pretty sure we've got some heavy RDLs programmed or something along the lines of that, which to be honest isn't very fun, and I might not take it heavy if my lower back plays up, because my lower back has been playing up a tiny bit. And I owe you guys a protein oats tutorial. So I'm going to be showing you how I make my protein oats as my pre-workout meal, and then we're going to head over to the gym. But before that, I've got some steps to do, and the weather isn't looking too nice. So enough waffling, let's get into it. So obviously we've got pre-workout protein oats, and I'm going to show you guys a tutorial on how I make them and this is by far the best recipe of protein oats that you will see anywhere. They taste incredible. Anyway, first thing you'll need is some oats, and then some protein powder, of course. Now we're going for a chocolatey kind of flavour. I've never used like a fruity flavour, something like strawberries or banana, but I'm sure it would work alright. But I've pretty much always used a chocolate flavoured protein powder, and I've pretty much always used Impact Whey Isolate from my protein, even before I was affiliated with them. Now, I am obviously affiliated with my protein, so full disclosure here. You can use the link and code in my bio of any social media account to obviously get yourself a discount and support me. But I highly recommend this one here. This is chocolate brownie flavour, Impact Whey Isolate. Tastes incredible. Incredible count times 2. So yeah, we've got that as our protein powder, and obviously we'll mix that in when they're cooking. And then we've got some organic cocoa powder, which honestly, if you don't know the health benefits, then do some research. Very high in antioxidants and just overall very healthy. So not only is it a healthy addition, it's got its benefits of course, however it also makes them taste a lot better. It really gives them that more intense chocolate flavour, you know. So I do add the flavouring, but as I said, they've got their benefits. So we add that along with the protein powder when they're cooking. And then I haven't actually got them here, they're still in the freezer. But when that's finished, we also add in some frozen fruits on top, and then a tiny bit, usually 50 to 20 grams, but I'm thinking about bumping that up a bit. My protein's natural peanut butter, no palm oil or anything like that, and this too is a product that I was using way before I was affiliated with my protein, because to be honest, for the value, you got a kilo here, it's all natural, no palm oil. It's just the best value for money that I've actually honestly seen, especially if you use my code, like genuinely no brainer. Also I forgot, before we even add the protein powder and the cocoa powder, we add some cinnamon. So yeah, now this is just ground cinnamon from Tesco. So yeah, now if you're looking to bulk this meal up even more, and by the way, I wouldn't recommend this for cutting, as obviously pretty high in calories, but you know, for me, the pre-workout meal, which this is standard every single day, is the most important meal of the day, and that is because obviously this will dictate how my workout goes. You know, this ultimately is my final pre-workout fuel, regardless of like sleep and other factors like that. You know, a pre-workout meal has to be solid. It has to give you sufficient energy. You know, you have to feel good. It also has to digest fairly quickly too, and this isn't too high in fat. Obviously adding the peanut butter is going to give you a bit of a fat source, which is obviously going to slow down the digestion a little bit, and the oats too, they have got a tiny bit of fat in them too. So you know, I'd say for me, it depends on everyone, obviously everyone's different, but for me it takes about, I don't know, anywhere between an hour and a half to digest. So I'll eat this, chill for a bit, finish off some coaching work, you know, plan out what I'm going to do after gym, content wise of course, and then obviously by that time drive to the gym and it's fully digested. And obviously I am doing a tiny bit of Stairmaster right before my workout as a kind of warm-up, general full body warm-up. So, you know, I find it digests perfectly and it gives me sufficient kind of energy throughout the workout, as ultimately you want those nutrients to still be absorbing whilst you're working out, to obviously give you some fuel throughout the workout. So, enough waffling, let's get into it. So you want to weigh out your oats. I usually go around 100 to 120 grams. I also add a bit of salt as well, boys, as it's 125 grams, but I'm extra hungry today. So we gotta eat big, boy. We gotta eat big. 125 grams of oats there. I'm not weighing anything else, we can put these away. If you want to bulk out this meal even more, then I'd recommend adding some sliced up bananas and some walnuts, almonds, anything like that, anything that you really can that will make it taste better. As much fruit as you can. But yeah, the reason I'm not doing that is because I'm obviously on a diet plan, so you know, I've got a set amount of meals that I have to eat. Cinnamon in. Right, now once you've added the cinnamon, boys, what you want to do is just shake it around so they get evenly distributed, and then you want to add the water, filtered water, because that will make it taste better, trust me. You want to add quite a bit of water as well, as we like them very kind of sludgy and I guess you could say more like a soup. Just like porridge, right? You know, porridge is supposed to be like, it's not supposed to be like some sort of clumpy rock. Anyway, add the lid on, and then you want to bring that to a boil and make sure that you watch it. Now make sure that you watch it. That is the most important thing, because every single time it overflows and I make a massive mess. This time it will not happen, I guarantee you. Make sure that you watch it. Right, so I'm not sure if you guys can see, but they've kind of gathered the consistency that I like. As I said, like a kind of really sludgy soup kind of thing. This is the perfect consistency. I just really like it. They're kind of really fluffy too. So yeah, at this point, now is time to kind of add the powders and that. So I'm gonna do that now. Okay, so chocolate brownie flavored protein powder. Okay, so now that our oats are cooked, obviously since we added the powders, we just gave that a mix, made sure that obviously that mix is in there nicely. Now we're going to add it into our massive bowl. Oh, just look at that, mate. That is incredible. Okay, there they are, to add the final ingredients. This is what literally just finishes it and makes it impeccable. And this obviously adds to making it higher in fibre, more nutrients, vitamins and that sort of stuff. So, game changer. Usually add around 60 to 70 grams. Is that enough? Yes, enough. Yes, don't need any more. And then the finishing touch is some My Protein peanut butter, all natural. Around a tablespoon. Oh, that looks incredible. That's really tasty. Right, so we finished our oats. They look incredible. Now, also, I just wanted to give you guys a little tip, right? If you're bulking, then these should be your go-to meal, because they're cheap and, you know, they're so high in calories. So, like, why would you not make use of them? Right, so that is the oats done. They are looking incredible. Now, we're going to finish these off, finish up on some coaching work, possibly just watch some Netflix, and then we're going to head over to the gym for my least favourite day of the week, and absolutely destroy it. So yeah, let's get it. Okay, so I'm just about to have my pre-workout, and then we're obviously going to head over to the gym and get our session in. Christ, that is so loud. Anyway, today's pre-workout, as you can see, we're having RDL'S pre-workout, My Protein of course. Now this is honestly a pretty efficacious blend of ingredients. There's a lot of stuff in here. The main one that I'm talking about is obviously like carbohydrates and stuff like that. So today, being a day where it's higher intensity, of course, you know, I want to make sure that I'm having a pretty good dose of pre. So yeah, RDL'S pre for today. Just one scoop. One scoop is 46 grams. So along with that RDL'S pre, we're going to have 2 electrolytes, which I have every single day. Make sure that you're optimally hydrated. I mean, why wouldn't you? You've got chloride, potassium, calcium, sodium and magnesium. They're really cheap. And honestly, when I don't take these, I genuinely do feel a difference. I think stuff like pre is not really needed. You can just have coffee for your caffeine. But electrolytes, especially when, you know, some days you forget to drink enough water or something like that. I mean, I never do, but you know, having a normal and balanced electrolyte balance is very crucial, I find, for a workout. So we're gonna have 2 of these. Obviously, we're also having a banana and a kiwi and a pump enhancer, which is also from my protein. It's got L-arginine 1,250 milligrams, L-citrulline malate 450 milligrams, and Norvaline 100 milligrams, and a bunch of other stuff as well. But 4 capsules, that is. We're only going to take 1 because we're already taking Eddie's pre-workout, and that has about 8 grams of citrulline, I believe. So yeah, that is obviously right before my workout. And honestly, even though I've only had 2 meals today, just the pure volume and like the quality of these meals is definitely enough before my workout. As I get hungrier for the evening, so obviously I'll have my meals later on in the evening. And yeah, that is my pre-workout meal. Let's get to the gym and smash legs. Right boys, so this workout will be a voiceover. I was thinking of doing a raw video again, as I quite like the other one. However, next episode will be a raw workout video, and I thought I could take the time on this video to obviously let you guys know basically how I've adapted my training, specifically leg days, to facilitate as much muscle growth as possible. Now I am competing, of course. I want to maximize as much muscle as I can physically gain. So I'll let you guys know basically how I've adapted my training and what I'm going to be doing to target certain weak areas, such as my calves and hamstrings, and basically why I'm doing this and the reasoning behind everything. So hopefully you can incorporate these changes into your training if you've got a similar problem to me. Now, my calves and hamstrings are obviously a weak point. Specifically my calves, I think. My hamstrings aren't too bad, but my calves are very, very bad. They're shocking. So what we're basically doing is starting off with calves, just so I can attack them with as much intensity as possible, therefore inflict kind of as much growth as possible, right? Over time, progressive overload, if I'm constantly attacking them with all my energy and fresh, I'll be able to lift more and obviously inflict more pain into them ultimately, and then that will lead to more growth over time. So what we're doing here is starting off with a seated calf raise machine. Now I feel we can get a very, very good stretch on these and a good squeeze. So this for me is just like the best movement for the calves. Now I do 3 sets to failure. 1 set of around 20 reps with a slightly heavier weight. Obviously we want to target those calves with higher rep ranges because they're slow twitch muscle fibers. And then I do a second set aiming for around 25 reps with slightly lighter weight, and then we finish off with around 30 reps plus with a lighter weight. I like to just call this a burnout set, and honestly it gets them screaming for help, boys. Right, so after doing some seated calf raises, we then move into a standing calf raise variation, just as I feel they emphasize more so on the stretch in the bottom part of the movement, and then you can get a really, really good squeeze at the top. And I like to maintain a very, very controlled tempo on these. I'm not sure what set I filmed here, but it could have been my last set, as it does look like a bit of a burnout set. And you can truly see just how shocking my calves are in this video. But by utilizing these better movements and obviously timing everything better and truly trying my hardest to grow them, you can see how close I am pushing to failure on this movement. They definitely will grow. I mean, they have no choice. So that's that. Right, so moving into exercise 3, which is a Smith machine Romanian deadlift. Now obviously today's leg day is hamstring focused, so after doing some calves, we then go straight into hamstrings. Now if you've never used a Smith machine before for RDLs, then I'd highly recommend it, especially if you struggle with getting a good contraction or mind to muscle connection on this movement. Honestly, I think because it's a fixed range of motion, it just activates those hamstrings really well and obviously with these, stabilization won't be a limiting factor in whether you're achieving failure or not. Therefore, potentially to help you achieve failure, these can be better. But aside from that, I feel that if you're trying to optimize obviously the amount of mechanical tension that you could place onto those hamstrings, then using something like a Smith machine would be better. After that, we go into seated hamstring curls. Now, there is actually evidence that shows that a seated hamstring curl variation is superior to a lying leg curl, as it does activate the hamstrings a lot better. Obviously, both will still get you great gains. However, if you're trying to optimize your training, then that is something to consider. Now, I personally definitely feel a better contraction on the seated variation, just as I feel I can overload it a bit better and really squeeze at the bottom of the movement. You can see here, you can definitely achieve failure a bit more comfortably. You can really like wedge yourself in and just squeeze as hard as you can. We then move into exercise 5, which is of course quad extensions. Now, by doing these before our main movement, which you'll see at the end is a hack squat, I'm obviously pre-exhausting my quads, so therefore they can achieve failure much sooner on the hack squat and require much less volume. Along with that, we're also hitting the quads in the shortened range first, where they are obviously stronger, so it just makes sense to do that, to fatigue them in that shortened range, obviously where they will fatigue much less. And then obviously in the hack squat, we hit them in the lengthened range, where they are much weaker. So as I said, it just makes more sense to do that as well. I also definitely find that along with reaching failure sooner on the hack squat, they will just feel a lot more activated. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are, but it obviously does help me achieve a better mind to muscle connection, which is definitely something that matters. As you can see here, I'm just trying to maintain a good tempo on these and really squeeze at the top, and also make sure that I'm pointing my toes up. Okay, so the final movement of the session, exercise 6, the hack squat. I think having a very strong barbell squat definitely translates into a strong hack squat. Here I am just warming up with 4 plates. I usually do around 2 to 3 warm-up sets, obviously working up to the weight of my top set. But yeah, this was incredibly easy. I think I got about 20 reps. We then move into 5 plates. I think I did a nice controlled set of 10 on here. Now, obviously, I'm using the hack squat here instead of a normal barbell squat, just because it eliminates the factor of stabilization coming into play when you're trying to achieve failure. And obviously, you can achieve failure much more efficiently and place more mechanical tension onto those loaded muscle groups. Anyways, this will be the end of the video, as I'm going to show you my top set in a second with 6 plates. But it will be raw, just because I kind of like the whole raw approach, just so you could see truly how brutal it was. Now, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like and subscribe, and if you're interested in training or nutrition plans or coaching, then click the link down below. Thank you guys for the support.